Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today we're going to be talking about Homestead. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. Well, I guess this works as counter programming to all the big family movies that are out right now. Two that are coming out this weekend. Sonic 3 and Mufasa, not to mention the two movies that have been dominating the box office for a good 3 weeks, Moana 2 and Wicked. So if you don't want to watch a family movie, I mean, you have this. It's an option. Grant is going to be far more options coming Wednesday, frankly, better options, but this is still out there, I guess. So that's a pro, super duper minor pro, but I have to say something. So that's a pro, I guess. I guess there's the Christmas season where like Christmas is like only a few days away. That's gonna help this movie's box office. It's gonna help its legs a little bit. So I guess the holiday season. I'll label that as a pro. And that's it with pros. Okay, cons. Reviews aren't that good. It's only like 15 reviews, but still a 40%. Not great. What's really not great is its cinema score. It's not like Craven, which got like a C, but it got a B. A B is not good. Okay, anything below a B plus tells you that word of mouth is very mid, and that can lead to a short run in theaters. I mean, I think there's like several examples of this. I know the Marvels. What was the Marvels? I think that was a B. Marvel. That was a B. The Flash was a B. Like, if this was like a horror movie, then this would actually be a good score. Like, The Substance got a B. But that's like, that's a weird movie. That movie is very out there, very, you know, not of the norm. But this feels like a lot more normal. So a B is a whole lot worse for this movie. And the audience score is a 78%, which is not ideal. I mean, compared to say like Sonic 3, that movie's audience score is a 98%. That is ideal. That is what you want. You want something in the 90s, not 70s. So let's look through these audience reviews to understand the vibe of what's going on here. How do people feel about this thing? Well, let's read some of these. We got half star, horrible writing and lackluster plot. I am an apocalypse addict, and I was excited, but this was a waste of 2 hours. Yeah. Oh god, I'm not reading this. This is a whole novel. It's like 2-star review. It's a whole novel. I'm not reading that. Oh, this is a good one. Half star. If you're gonna make a movie this terrible, at least don't slap Jesus' name on it. Okay. Um, like okay. Some of these reviews I can tell are made by real people, but some of them I'm not too sure. They 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 have a real bot energy to them. Like, they feel like they're written by a bot. That's how they're like described, like very simply. Like I'm wary about some of these audience reviews because they seem like a little like something doesn't seem right. Like all those Craven audience reviews, like I don't really believe a good amount of them because I know people have different opinions and that's fine. But it's just I don't know, some of these throw me off. Like trying to find one. Blah blah blah. Let me see. You got 5 stars. It's a great movie and cast. Would highly recommend. Refreshing to see a movie without hidden agendas. Well, with this, there is an agenda. It's not the agenda this person's probably thinking of, but it's a different type. It's a rather scummy one, more based on money than anything else. But yeah, but you'll find out what that is. Oh, we got a 1 star. Angel Studios makes a good film, but not this film. You want me to purchase tickets for other people to watch a movie with no end? Was this a trailer for a series? What is the message? What is the point? Why? What? Somebody fire the writers and write a new story with purpose. I do not recommend this film to anyone, not even a good DVD or Netflix feature in this story. They use, quotations for that one. So, yes, this is what I learned about this movie. It does something that I think is pretty scummy, where, first of all, I assumed this was just like a one and done movie. Like, it's just like another movie that's just out there. No. What this actually is basically a pilot to a show. Yes. I did not know this in advance. I don't think anyone knew this in advance. So yeah, it's a pilot. It's a disguised pilot to a show. And at the end of the movie, the very end, there's a QR code that like pops up during the credits. And that QR code's basically being like, oh, we love that you watched the movie. Give us more money. They didn't directly say that, but that's what's being implied. Because they're like, oh, you can use this QR code to like buy a ticket, for a stranger to go see this thing, as if that stranger would even give a fuck about this movie, right? So the whole thing just feels wrong. Like it just feels so. It's just greed, like straight up greed, to basically tell people, okay, you paid money to watch this movie, but guess what? You're gonna have to pay more money to watch more of this story. Like it feels like a paywall. It feels like you got scammed. Like, and scam is a word you do not want to be associated with ever. I mean, look what happened to The Day Before. That, travesty. Like that game was had the scam labeled on it because of a lot of shit that was going on, with its development. And when it came out, it was a total disaster, and after a month it died and it will never come back. So yeah, being labeled a scam is never ever a good thing. So yeah, that's the big issue with this movie. That's probably why the movie has such a low cinema score. The fact that people feel like they got robbed of their money. So yeah. Let's see. It's a 3 star. Needed character development, scammed into streaming the rest of the story on TV. Interesting story, but choppy plot. See, like, I can buy that as like a real review, right? Oh, we got a half star. Complete snooze fest and doesn't make sense. This movie should have been on free TV. Got another half star. 2 crimes happened tonight. 1, I sat through an hour of this movie. And 2nd, I have to give it half a star to warn you all not to see this movie. I felt like my brain was touched in its no spot. Like, no, please do not go see this movie. Okay. um... let's see. Yeah, there's another one. This is like a great story, clean plot, great acting, very believable. 3.5 stars. You got 2 stars. Being a lover of apocalypse movies, I was led to think this would be a high-octane action thriller showcasing human behavior during societal collapse. Instead, I had a Christian moral message crammed down my throat and got notified at the end that this whole 2-hour movie was in fact a pilot episode of a series, which could have more action than the movie did. Time will tell. But at least there are more episodes to watch. Of course, to access the series, I need to pay it forward and buy a ticket for someone. What a misdirect. So yeah, people aren't happy about this. I wouldn't be happy about this either. I'd be pissed off. Like, this movie didn't even like at least put like a to be continued on the screen, like a decent movie. Like, at least do that. Like, don't just you're basically Loki selling a lie here. So yeah, so word of mouth overall is no good. So that's a con. Another con is the fact that even though this is counter programming to these big family movies, the fact is these big family movies are still dominating the box office, and they're the only movies anyone really cares about right now. Especially Sonic 3, the way that's going, that is bound to be the big holiday movie this year, judging by its early box office. And nothing is going to come close. So that's going to be the main movie people talk about. And even like some of the other Christmas movies, like Nosferatu, I know that has some hype surrounding it. So you have plenty of options. I can't imagine this is going to be high on anyone's list of movies to watch this holiday season. So there's just overall a lot of competition out right now. It's a lot of, you know, stuff that's not direct, but there's stuff that is very much direct, and most of that direct competition is coming out Wednesday on Christmas Day. So that's a lot to deal with. Like Nosferatu, Baby Girl, The Fire Inside, Complete Unknown, like all adult centric flicks. And this has to deal with all of them. So that's not great. So yeah, just general competition, that's a con. Another con is Angel Studios. I gotta label them as a con. I know damn well now that they are a one-hit wonder studio. Because, I mean, the numbers don't lie. I mean, Sound of Freedom was their big hit, their big shock hit, and it never got any better, not even close. I mean, look at this. 19, 12, 12, 12, 11, 11, 7. Like, they've never hit that high. So, again, one hit wonder. Maybe that will change with some of their later movies. I think with David, they were like, "Oh, this is gonna be the biggest anime movie of all time." And I'm like, "Okay, you're gonna make more money than Inside Out 2. Okay, sure, sure. Keep on believing that." um, but yeah, most of these movies have just kind of haven't even really been hits. So yeah, the more misses they have, the worse that track record is gonna be. The worse, the worse the overall track record will be. And not to mention their last movie, Bonhoeffer, which came out like pre-Thanksgiving weekend. Like, it's crazy to me that what's happening this week is exactly what happened last month to a T. Because this movie, Bonhoeffer, opened the same weekend as Glicked, Gladiator 2 and Wicked. And then literally a couple days after that, you had Moana 2. So it was fucked because of that, because no one was going to pay attention to this, and no one did pay attention to it, and it just went unseen. And we're seeing the same damn thing happen this weekend because no one is paying attention to this thing, and people who are paying attention to it, it's not the attention you want. Like, being called a scam is, like, who would want that? Who would want that as PR, right? And I know there's no such thing as, all publicity is good publicity. That's a fucking lie right there. Like, being called a scam is never good publicity. So yeah, now this has to deal with two big movies and a bunch of other movies that are already out or about to, release soon. So yeah, just pretty much this movie has more or less everything working against it, especially, from the distributor to all the competition to the movie being labeled a scam. It's all bad. So opening weekend, let's just go to that opening weekend. It's projected to hit $5 million, literally the exact same amount as Bonhoeffer last month. So literally, history is repeating itself exactly. It's only in like about the same amount of theaters, maybe a little bit lower. I think it's like 1,800 something theaters. So I guess I'll just stick with 5 million. And it's total. Well, Bonhoeffer didn't have any legs at all, even with Thanksgiving. You think that would theoretically help it, but nope. And Christmas is more, it's more of a positive than Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, it comes and goes, but Christmas lasts just a little bit longer. At least like the Christmas to New Year's stretch can last quite a bit longer than Thanksgiving. So that could help its legs out a little bit, but I don't expect this to have a long life. I had maybe 20 million at best. You know, yeah, maybe I'll go a little higher. 20 to 25 million. I'm going to stick with that. I wouldn't be surprised if it did worse. So, yeah, that was Homestead. Now it's time to. We're not going to talk about the main movie this weekend. No, not yet. First, we got to go through Mufasa, a movie whose very existence makes me angry. But then after that, we get to talk about Sonic 3, and I'm very much looking forward to discussing that one. And then, Tuesday, Christmas Eve, I plan on doing prediction videos for all four movies here: Baby Girl, A Complete Unknown, Fire Inside, and Nosferatu. So stay tuned for all those videos. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. You want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage. All previous prediction videos I made this year, the past few years. Want to watch any of them? Go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I went over 250 episodes, all movies I was supposed to come out, but didn't want to binge that whole thing. Go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. I just did my November recap yesterday, really 2 days ago, and my December recap will probably come out uh within the first, probably the second week of January, I would say. Yeah, second week. And then my 2024 recap, which will be a two-parter, winners and losers, that'll happen after the January recap. I'll probably just do it all in one week just to get it over with. But that'll be like in mid-ish January, so stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.